Dr. Lewinella, we're here at the Botanic Garden at Oklahoma State University. You're the director of this beautiful place here.
Thank you, thanks.
And we're at kind of your front yard of the Botanic Garden. And it's some beautiful Bermuda grass, a little bit of fescue under the trees. And I suppose you have to maintain this, you have to irrigate it, is that correct?
We do. For years we've been irrigating it by hand, just with garden hoses and sprinklers. But we really wanted to save some labor and also get a better product. And so we've installed a brand new irrigation system here called the IrriGreen product.
Wow, so I see this area here, it's got some zigs and zags and some jogs to it. How do you irrigate that exactly?
Well, that's why we're so excited about this new system. You put one head in the center and it adjusts its radius based on the shape of the garden.
Wow. So
it's revolutionary. You know, it's a brand new product. No other product does anything like this. And there are lots of advantages to it.
So if I'm doing this, you know, a traditional system, I may have to have, I don't know, several heads here, maybe even a couple different zones. How does this work exactly?
Well, that's one of the great advantages of it, is that you put that one head in the center. For a traditional system, you'd have to go out to the edges and put heads all along the edges, maybe a few in the center. And if you have corners like we do here, you'd have to put one head in each corner. So for an area like this, it might take 9 heads.
Sure.
Now we just have the one.
Wow.
And if you only have to install one head, you have to do a lot less digging. And that was the other advantage for us. You know, we're a botanic garden. We didn't want to dig up this entire yard. And so we had to do very little digging just to get the one head in the center rather than those all around the edges. We actually have 5 different heads, 5 zones for this entire yard, but it probably would have taken 40 for a traditional system.
Wow. So you got me excited. You guys, tell me how this works. Where's the pipe? Where are the heads? How does it work?
So the heads are right off of the main. So we have one main running right down the middle of the yard, and then the heads are tapped into the main. And the other thing about this system, traditionally you throw head to head. So the water from this sprinkler has to hit this. With this, you don't. With the IrriGreen system, it's not head to head. So this head throws this far, this head throws that far. So you really have a lot longer radius or a lot longer area that you can water with fewer heads. So that's another advantage.
So how far, so you know, if we get a little technical here, say I've got a 50 or 60 psi and say I've got, you know, I know my flow. How far am I throwing, like 10 feet, 50 feet? How does this work exactly?
This head will throw a maximum of about 35 feet.
Okay.
But we keep it at 30. We decided that we weren't going to throw further than 30 feet. So it's throwing 30 feet. So if this head's throwing 30 and this head's throwing 30, the heads are 60 feet apart.
Okay, I see.
Which is much further than you would normally have in a traditional system.
Right. And so you've got to show me this thing. How are you going to water this and keep? Well, obviously you're keeping it green. So how does it not get the sidewalk wet?
It's all computerized. So Gary Kleinfelter's an engineer that developed this product, and it has a flow sensor on the main. And so you calibrate the system with that flow sensor. And so it knows what flow is coming through the system. And with an app on your phone, you program what distance you want it to throw.
Wow.
So I set the head to be throwing at that sidewalk, and then I set the distance to end just before we hit the sidewalk. And then with the app, you rotate the head, set another point, and you keep going around. And what's really cool is you could set a point over here and set a point over here. You don't have to worry about all those points in between. The computer calculates the radius between those two distances. So it's really, really interesting. Okay,
so if I wanted to do this, say in my home lawn, can you give me a ballpark of what are we talking about with cost and things like that?
It's probably more expensive than, it's definitely more expensive than a traditional system, but you've got savings in product. So you don't have to buy as many heads, you have the savings in the labor, you don't have to do as much trenching, you don't have to buy as much pipe. So, you know, I don't know exactly how it works out dollar for dollar, but there's probably cost savings as well. So this has shown to be as efficient and as uniform as traditional systems, but using about 40% less water. So you've got water savings and water conservation. That's a money saver as well.
So higher upfront costs, but I can save water and save some of that labor to put it in. And it looks like to me still have a beautiful yard.
It's doing a great job. So we installed it this spring, early this spring. It's been irrigating all summer. We've had rain this past week, but we have not had rain in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
And this is the greenest this lawn has ever been.
So you've got automation, you've got what's going on out here?
I like to call this the most high-tech lawn in America.
I agree.
We've got this brand new irrigation system, and we also mow this lawn with a robot.
Wow.
So we have a robotic mower that was donated by Husqvarna, and it has mowed this lawn for 2 years.
Wow.
And has done a fantastic job.
So no humans needed, right?
No humans needed.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dr. Nella. This is great.
Thanks.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.